brain theory.
You say you love them. You'd do anything for them. You'd die for them. But what if I told you that buried somewhere deep inside that love is the urge to ruin them? It sounds monstrous. But Freud wouldn't be surprised. He believed that love, real, consuming love, was never innocent, that it's tangled with rage, fear, obsession, and the terrifying desire to annihilate what we care about most. And if you think that's too dark to be true, you haven't been honest with yourself. Because the closer you get to someone, the more power they have over you, the more vulnerable, exposed, and unsafe you feel. That's when the shadow wakes up. That's when something ancient and ugly whispers, "If they can break me, maybe I should break them first." This isn't about toxic relationships. This isn't about abuse. This is about you, about the quiet war inside every real love you've ever had. Let's begin. Love awakens the survival instinct. Imagine you're a child again. You reach for your mother's hand in a crowd. You need her. She's your anchor, your safety, your entire world. But what happens when she lets go? What happens the moment you realize the person you love can leave? That terror doesn't disappear as you grow up. It just hides. Freud believed that love activates our most primal instincts, not just for connection, but for survival. Because love threatens us. To love someone is to hand them the weapon with which they could destroy you. Your secrets, your past, your soft underbelly, all of it becomes theirs. And some part of you will always hate them for it. Even in your happiest moments, there's a whisper. What if they leave? What if they betray me? What if they love someone else more? That's not neurosis. That's your inner animal, your evolutionary brain calculating threats. Freud called it the death drive, thanatos. And it doesn't just aim outward. Sometimes you'd rather destroy the relationship yourself than be left at its mercy. You want to possess what you love fully. You've been there. You see them laughing with someone else. It's innocent, but your stomach knots, your jaw tightens. Why? Because a part of you wants to own them, not in a creepy, literal sense, but in the deep, spiritual sense. You want their attention, their desire, their soul. Freud believed that love was never pure altruism. It's possession, it's fusion, and deep down, you want all of them, including the parts they don't give you. You want their time, their memories, their fantasies, their pain. And when you don't get all of it, when some of them stays hidden, private, mysterious, that unmet hunger can turn violent. Ever been in love and suddenly found yourself being cruel for no reason? Nitpicking, ignoring, creating distance, maybe even fantasizing about them missing you, suffering without you. That's not just insecurity. That's the destructive impulse Freud warned about. The part of you that would rather crush the thing you love than watch it stay just out of reach. Every love story is a power struggle. Picture this. Two lovers lie in bed, staring at each other in silence. One thinks, "I hope they never leave me." The other thinks, "I hope they need me more than I need them." Freud saw love as a negotiation of dominance. Who needs whom more? Who holds the emotional high ground? Who can walk away? And no matter how romantic we try to be, the ego always keeps score. Think about your last relationship. Were you ever scared to say, "I love you" first? Did you ever hesitate to show how much you cared? Did you hold back just enough to stay on top? It's because love always threatens ego. And ego, Freud believed, is terrified of vulnerability. So when the scales tip too far, when you feel too exposed, your instinct isn't to repair, it's to regain control. Even if that means sabotaging the thing you wanted most. That's why people ghost. That's why they cheat. That's why they say hurtful things they can't take back. Because the ego would rather destroy the relationship than lose the war. Love reminds you that you're not whole without another. You walk into a room and see them. Just the sight of them changes your breathing. You feel pulled, drawn like a magnet. But why? Because they fill something in you. They make you feel alive, seen, real. But here's the dark side. If they make you feel whole, what does that say about who you were before them? Freud believed that love reactivates the feeling of childhood helplessness, that we're all secretly searching for the lost paradise of total care, the feeling of being utterly protected, utterly accepted. So when someone gives us a taste of that, it's intoxicating, but it's also terrifying. Because you remember, even if you don't want to, that you're not enough on your own. And that realization can quickly curdle into resentment. If they complete me, then they control me. If I lose them, I'm nothing again. That resentment doesn't always look like rage. Sometimes it looks like emotional withdrawal, or sabotage, or self-destruction, just to prove you don't need them after all. This is the paradox Freud was obsessed with. We destroy the thing that makes us feel most alive, just to feel safe again. You project your darkness onto the one you love. Let's be honest. You've blamed someone you love for something that had more to do with you. Maybe you accused them of being distant when it was you who pulled away first. Maybe you hated them for not understanding a part of you that you never dared to understand yourself. Freud called this projection. When we take the pieces of ourselves we're ashamed of and hurl them onto the people closest to us. The more intense the love, the more dangerous the projection. Why? Because your lover becomes a mirror, and not just of your beauty, but of your worst fears, your unmet needs, your repressed rage. When they disappoint you, it feels like a betrayal of who you thought you were. You say, "You're too clingy," but really, you're afraid of your own neediness. You say, "You're too cold," but really, you're terrified of your own emotional numbness. And sometimes, to silence the discomfort, you lash out. You break what reflects you, not because they did something wrong, but because they showed you something you didn't want to see. That's not love failing. That's the unconscious doing what it always does, protecting itself at all costs. The more you love, the more you risk losing yourself. You've seen it happen. Someone falls in love and slowly begins to disappear. Their routines shift. Their friends fade. Their identity bends to fit the other person. And sometimes that's beautiful, but sometimes it becomes suffocating. Freud believed that love had a dissolving quality, that it erodes the boundary between me and you. until you don't know who you are without the other. And when that fusion goes too far, when you start to feel swallowed, you panic. That panic doesn't always come in screams or arguments. Sometimes it comes as silence, indifference, a desire to pull away, even when nothing is wrong. Think about the last time someone loved you so much, you felt trapped. Why did something so pure begin to feel like a prison? Because part of you remembered the fear of annihilation, the fear of being consumed. And in that moment, destruction feels like freedom. So you create distance. You pick fights. You say things you don't mean. Anything to carve yourself back out of the union you helped build. Freud saw this not as madness, but as the tragic logic of desire. We crave the melting, but we also crave our edges. Desire and destruction are twin flames. Think of the last time you wanted someone so badly it hurt. Now ask yourself this: was it really just love? Or was there something darker underneath? Something wild, violent, chaotic? Freud never believed love and hate were opposites. He thought they were entangled, two expressions of the same primal fire. Because desire isn't calm. It's not sweet. It's not quiet. Desire is possession, devouring, obsession. It's the longing to get inside someone else's skin, to burn with them, to become them, to destroy the line between you and me. But when that desire meets resistance, when they pull away, or hesitate, or fail to feel what you feel, it flips. The passion doesn't vanish. It inverts. That's when lovers scream, when plates shatter, when hands shake. That's when you find yourself fantasizing not just about being with them, but about making them feel your pain. It's not romantic. It's not healthy, but it's human. Freud believed that our most violent impulses wear the mask of love, that we don't just want to touch, we want to leave a mark, to be unforgettable, even if that means breaking something that was once beautiful. So, do you still think love is pure? Or have you begun to feel the edge beneath it? Freud didn't want to ruin romance. He wanted to reveal its stakes, because he knew anything powerful enough to complete you is powerful enough to destroy you. But here's the deeper truth. You're not doomed by your darkness. You're not evil because you feel these contradictions. You're human. To love fully is to walk a tightrope between bliss and chaos, between surrender and control, between nurturing and wounding. And maybe the goal isn't to sterilize love, to keep it clean and nice and safe. Maybe the goal is to face its violence with awareness, to recognize when your anger is fear, when your silence is grief, when your cruelty is just a cry not to be left behind. Because when you see the shadow, it loses some of its grip. And when you stop pretending your love is innocent, it might finally become real. If this video hit something in you, comment below with, "I won't destroy what I love. I'll understand it